First at 4, breaking news from the doctors treating football player Damar Hamlin, including the first question he wrote down from his bed in the ICU. Also, we've got breaking news from Capitol Hill. Republican Kevin McCarthy still trying to become Speaker of the House. How one of Michigan's newest congressmen gave him a hand. And there's a political shakeup in Michigan today. Senator Debbie Stabenow makes an announcement that will have big ripple effects. And here's Kim Adams.
Well, we have a little rain, a little snow, and a little mix going on right now here in Metro Detroit for your evening commute. I'll have your weekend forecast coming up.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. We do have breaking news. It's deja vu all over again for Republicans in the House of Representatives. They are locked in a messy battle over who should be the next House Speaker. And today, one of Michigan's newest congressmen played a role in that spectacle. Kimberly Gill following the story from our newsroom with the very latest. Kim.
Karen, good afternoon. Republican Party leader Kevin McCarthy continues his bid to become Speaker of the House, and a small group of Republicans refuses to give him their support. Right now, they're taking the 9th vote, and it looks like McCarthy has failed yet again, but the roll call is still underway. Remember, a speaker is normally elected on the very first ballot. So just like yesterday, there have been 3 official nominees for each vote until this latest round. Democrats are united behind New York Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. The majority of Republicans are pushing for McCarthy, but about 20 Republicans who say they're looking to change the direction of the country are voting for other candidates, mainly Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. In the past 20 minutes, Congresswoman Lauren Boebert threw a new name into the mix, so she nominated Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern. So far, he's not getting any more support than Donalds. So right now, this is a live look at the House floor. The action started just after noon, and we're not seeing the 3rd vote of the day. They started calling the roll for the 9th time about 3:43 p.m. Less than 10 minutes later, it appeared McCarthy has lost again. He can only lose 4 Republican votes, and he's already lost 11. So, you know, McCarthy is under growing pressure from restless members of his own party and Democrats to find the votes he needs or just step aside. We are monitoring the action in Washington, and we'll have another update for you when you join us for Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. For now, though, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Meantime, one of Michigan's newest congressmen was in the spotlight as lawmakers prepare to vote for the 7th time.
Madam Clerk, I rise to nominate Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House.
Spoke for about 10 minutes as he nominated McCarthy to be the next speaker. The freshman lawmaker is among those waiting to be sworn in for the first time. That won't happen until this battle ends. Meantime, the political landscape here in Michigan has been shaken up this afternoon as Senator Debbie Stabenow announces she will not seek re-election in 2024. She was first elected to the Senate back in 2000, and she has become the 3rd most senior Democrat in that chamber. Christy McDonald spoke with the senator today about her life in politics and why she's making the decision. She joins us now. Christy.
Well, Karen, many of us here in Michigan can't remember a time where Senator Stabenow didn't hold public office at the state or congressional level. She's had a hand in policies that affect all of our lives in this state, but she feels it's time to make way for a new generation of leaders and finished her last 2 years of work in the Senate.
At this point in time, there's really 2 things that I've been thinking about. I think it's a good time to pass the torch to the next generation. We have wonderful leaders in Michigan, and I've always felt it's important to be part of opening those doors, creating opportunities, and passing the torch. And for me personally, my mom is 96, and I have 5 wonderful grandchildren. And certainly for Mom, who's been my biggest supporter, it's important for me to have the flexibility while doing my job the next 2 years, not to have the rigors of a campaign, but to be able to be there for her when she needs me.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that have really impacted you in terms of causes when we look at Great Lakes issues, when we talk about agriculture, the Farm Bill.
I'm proud to be a leader and have been a leader on advanced manufacturing and new vehicles, on agriculture and bringing our type of agriculture into the Farm Bill. Mental health, transforming mental health to be a part of healthcare, not something separate, is a very important thing for me.
Can you give me a specific story of your time in the Senate where you sat back one day and everyone left your office and you said, yes, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing?
There have been many, but I do have to say, having worked for 10 years with my Republican colleague, Roy Blunt, who just retired, on transforming community mental health services as part of the gun bill we passed last summer. And that was a moment when I said, this really, really matters.
You have been a trailblazer for women in politics. Describe, I guess, the road or the path, how hard it has been for you.
I started at 24. I was a graduate student at Michigan State and got involved in an effort to save the local nursing home, the Ingham County Medical Care Facility. And then I was urged to run for office, and one thing led to another. But there were not many doors open. You know, I felt like I had to bust down the door. In the early days, it was like you could have one woman, you know, there could be one, but that's all. And so power and the ability to contribute comes from number 2, number 3, number 4. And so I hope I have been able to bust open a lot of doors and keep them open.
In leaving the Senate, what do you worry about?
Well, in my next 2 years, I want to make sure I'm part of showing people that we can govern, we can get things done across the aisle.
It was really a great conversation with her, and Senator Stabenow says she'll be working on a new farm bill as well in the next 2 years. Very important to her.
Obviously, when you take a look at her legacy, the next question, who is going to take this seat? Republican, Democrat, obviously everyone's going to be fighting for this spot.
Oh, yes. I mean, the conversations that are happening today, Karen, I got to be amazing. And Senator Stabenow would not share with me who she's talking to. She says she's part of a lot of conversations. The list is starting to grow of who might run for that open seat. We're going to take a closer look at the politics surrounding this, the loss of clout in Washington with her departure from the Senate. It's all coming up today on Local 4 News at 5 o'clock.
I like that moment that you talked about what she did for women in general, despite your politics, opening the doors and making a change. Really
absolutely. She has been in office for almost 50 years in some form or another. So
it started at 24. I didn't know it was that long. Wow. All right, thanks, Christy. All right, well, doctors have confirmed this afternoon some encouraging signs in the recovery of the Buffalo Bills star Damar Hamlin after he collapsed during Monday Night Football game. We are told that he made, quote, a remarkable improvement over the past 24 hours. Now, while he is still critically ill, doctors say he appears to be neurologically intact and his lungs continue to heal. They also say Hamlin can communicate with written messages. His first question was, who won the game? They told him he won the game of life. Our own Dr. McGeorge is reviewing the new information that we got in this afternoon on Hamlin's condition. He's going to break it down for us tonight when you join us at 5. In today's first forecast, have you seen any snowflakes flying wherever you are? Well, some of you could be seeing some light snow. Kim Adams previews the forewarned forecast. All right, Kim, tell us more.
Well, we have rain on the east side and then a changeover happening now on the west side. It's not heavy. It's nothing that will really affect the evening commute, but it is something you need to be aware of. So we've got Exact Track 40 radar on the job. Again, the east side right now getting the rain, but you head out to Howell right along I-96, and that's where you run into that light snowfall. We're watching very closely because temperatures play a key role in what kind of precip you're going to get over the next few hours. 38 in Mount Clemens, above freezing in Pontiac, also at City Airport and Metro. Howell is down to 35, but that's, again, the snow is continuing to fall. It just kind of melts on contact. But as temperatures drop this evening, that rain will change over to some light snow. Then tomorrow we should get a little break or two of the sunshine with a couple flurries. I'll have your weekend forecast straight ahead.
All right. Thank you, Kim. The teenager who's pleaded guilty in the Oxford High School shooting will continue to be locked up in the Oakland County Jail. The judge made that decision today during a monthly hearing to determine if 16-year-old Ethan Crumbley should be moved to a juvenile facility. These hearings will continue until Crumbley is sentenced for first-degree murder and terrorism. He withdrew an insanity defense months ago and pleaded guilty. That was back in October. A man accused of making anti-Semitic threats at an Oakland County temple will go to trial. Hassan Choker made a virtual court appearance from his jail cell to hear the judge reveal her decision. He's charged with 2 felony counts of ethnic intimidation. Witnesses described and video shows him going on an anti-Semitic and racist rant in front of parents, children, and security at the Temple Beth El in Bloomfield Township last month. Choker remains in custody, held on a $1 million cash bond. Detroit's mayor celebrating today some really big signs of improvement when it comes to unemployment in the city. Mike Duggan says the jobless rate was 18% when he took office, 38% during the pandemic's peak, and now it's just above 6%. Mayor says we're seeing a huge shift.
I watched jobs move to the suburbs for decades. today, the jobs are being created in Detroit. Detroit is the epicenter of job creation in Michigan. There's 8,400 open jobs in the city today.
The mayor credits residents with working hard to land new jobs, but the city's also mapping out plans to get more people into more jobs. More on the services available and what's next on Local 4 News at 5. Still ahead, it has been hard to pin down the country's economic future. Well, now a big tech company is making a big move that will affect thousands of employees. And new reports, Britain's Prince Harry continues to spill royal family secrets, this time alleging physical violence. And what about his dad's coronation? We'll talk about that. And a new concept car with an eye-catching feature. We're going to show you what BMW has come up with now. Stay with us. But before we go to break, take a look at the big night of football on Local 4. Don't miss our coverage of the Detroit Lions' push for the playoffs. It kicks off with Local 4 News at 6 on Sunday and a pregame show leading up to the Lions versus the Packers. Stick around for our postgame coverage and Local 4 News at 11. We are back in less than 3 minutes.